Hello everyone, it's John from IT Skills Academy, and in today's video I show you how you can be able to create a password forgot feature step by step. In my previous video I showed you a forgot password demo where I took time to explain how it works, and I did promise that in the subsequent videos I'll be showing you how you can be able to create the project step by step. So if you have not watched that demo yet, I'll be providing a link in the description of this video from where you can be able to go. First of all, watch that whole video, and then later on now come to this so that you can be able to learn how you can be able to create that project step by step. However, if you still have the understanding, or if you have the understanding, then you can continue watching this video. For you to easily follow along, I've provided a free source code to this project. I have the link in the description of this video from where you can come and clone the project, or also download the zip code from down here. In this video I'll just show you how you can be able to create a password forgot feature. However, remember the forgot password feature is part of the larger login system, so you need to have a working login system before you include the forgot password. If you would want to learn how you can be able to create a login system, I have a video that takes you through the whole process step by step. I'll also provide a link in the description of this video from where you can go learn how you can be able to create a login system. And now, to be able to include a forgot password feature, you can come to this video from where you will now be able to learn how to create the same step by step. If you also want to learn how you can be able to upload your projects into the GitHub, then I have also a video that shows you how you can be able to do that. I have a link in the description of this video from where you can be able to go learn how you can be able to upload your projects into GitHub. Before we continue, I would like to mention one thing, that if you decide to download the source code of this project, there are a few things that you need to change, and those things that you need to change, I'll be mentioning them through or within the video. So it's better that you watch the whole video so that you understand what are these things that you need to change in the source code so that it can be able to work for you. Otherwise, if you're not able to change those stuff, then the whole source code will not work for you. So however, if you're able to change it on your own, then you can go ahead and do the same. So without so much ado, let's get started. So here I am on the login page from where I can be able to easily log in into the system. But also remember, I can also be able to create an account if I don't have one, so I can just come and click on the create account, from where I can be able to create the account. But remember that all this data will be inserted into the database when I'm creating the account, and when I'm logging in, the data will be fetched from a database. So that means that you need to have a database that will be able to sort of hold your users. In that case, I mean, we need to have, or first of all, create a database. So this is the sign up page from where you need to provide your username, valid email address, the password, and you also need to confirm the password, and you can be able to easily create the account. And if you already have an account, you can be able to easily log in into the same account. So before we get started with this project, the first thing that I need us to do is to create the database. So I'll be heading on to the PHP MyAdmin, where we'll be creating a database that will be able to hold all this data. So our database will be very simple because it will just have one table, and that is the users, or we can give it any name that we so wish. So from here I'll just come and say new. And remember, what we basically want to do is to create a new database that will be able to hold our information. So we can just come and call this database forgot pass underscore tutorial, but you can give it any name. So I'll just come and say forgot underscore pass underscore tutorial, and I'll just come here and create it. Yeah, you're going to forgive me because my machine is a little bit slow, yeah, but I'll be trying to speed up those parts that are a bit slow. So I'll just come and create a table here within our database, the forgot pass tutorial database. So I can just come and call it users. It can just have 4 columns. If we need more, we're going to add, or we're going to add. So I'm just going to say go to create that table within the forgot pass tutorial database. So here we have the table, and the first thing of course will be the user ID, and this one can have 10 values, and it should be auto increment. That means it should also have the index primary, so it will be a unique value. The other one will be the username, so I can just come and say your name, and for the type I'll give it Vasha, so that means it will have various characters. It can have numbers, it can have characters, symbols, and all that. And this one we can give it be 200 and nothing else. And here we are going to have the mail, so this one will hold the mail or the email address, and this one should also be Vasha, and the size we can give it 200. And we're also going to have the password, so this is the login password, and also this one we give it Vasha 200. And we also need to include one more, so I can just come and say go, like we are just adding one row, so I can say go, rather we're adding one column. So this will be the activation. So this will just be helping us to know if the person who is resetting the password is the authorized person. So it will be changing from one value to another. So the default will be the null. So we'll be seeing how that works step by step. So it is easier done than explained, so I'll be doing that practically so that you understand. And I'll also give this one Vasha, and for this I can just give it maybe 100. So for now we can just leave that as it is, and we're just going to come here and save. So we have created the database, which should be the first thing that you need to do. Now that we have the table or the database created, and within it we have the table, then the next thing that we now need to do is to make sure that the create password and the login password are both like reading information from this database. So I need to head on to my Visual Studio code. So here I am in the Visual Studio, and the first thing that I need to do is to go to the con.php, So the con.php is the page that contains the script that helps me to connect to the database. I have it within the validate folder, and here I have the DB credentials and the params to connect to the database. So I have the DB host is equals to localhost, the DB user is equals to root, and the DB pass is equals to nothing, and the DB name. So this is where now I need to change the DB name to what we have created here. So now it should read the forgot pass tutorial. So I need to do that here right away. So that is forgot underscore pass underscore tutorial. So like that, and that will now make sure that whatever we do here goes to that specific database that we have there. So let's just try and see if that will work. So this, remember, is just the create account, because you want to first of all be able to create an account so that we have some information here. Remember, you cannot be able to forget a password if you don't have an existing password in place. So you need to first of all have a password that you're now going to like reset. That's why first of all we want to be able to create an account, and that's why you also need to have a sign up page that is working. So I'm giving the username here, and I'll also give the email, and I'll provide the password, just 123 123, and then I'll just say create. So basically what I just want to do is to insert information into this database here, and we do have a problem somewhere. Let's just try to see how we can fix that issue. So it should be on the login in. I think it's because of the change of the database. That's why it is giving us some issues there. Yeah, we can also insert this information manually into the database, but I don't want to do that for now. So I'm just using the register page to insert the information into the database. So I'm seeing the error. Yeah, so the error is somewhere here. Yeah, it's because of this. So we need to change this to users, because that is the name of our table. That is the name of our table. So we need to change that. And here it's where we are just checking if the username is taken or not. So it just went to the database that you have provided, and it was unable to find that table called staff. So we should also change this. This one should also read users. Yeah, and that should be good. So I can now just head on here. Good. And I can just repeat that again. So let me get rid of this and refresh it maybe. So I'll give the username again, the email again, the password. On line 2 we also have an issue. Oh, it's not wrong. Yeah, so this one should be password. Yeah, because if we go to the database here, you see that this one we called it password, so it is trying to get that and it is not able to do that. So that's why we are having that error. So we should also change in case we have that in any other place. So it should read password, and I think we don't have anything else. So this basically happens when you change the database and maybe you don't give the similar names. So by these mistakes, we just also being able to learn how we can be able to fix the small problems that comes when you are creating projects using PHP MyAdmin. So let's now try to do that now. Yes, so I would have fixed these problems on my own, but I'm just trying to make this project to be as comprehensive as possible. But if you're able to do that on your own, then you can be able to skip this part. Yeah, so because we have been able to register successfully, you can see we are having the message success registered, and now we are taken to the dashboard. So we don't have anything else here because we're not interested with this part. So if I now head on to the database here, then I refresh, we should see that information appearing here. So as I have mentioned, we would have inserted this information here, but because I want to make this as comprehensive as possible and as practical as possible, I just inserted the information using the sign up page, because this is how it will be happening in the real sense. So as you can see, now we have the information here. And the activation, as you can see right now, it doesn't have anything. So when we now start to reset this password, we'll be seeing the information appearing here. You can see the password again is encrypted, so we'll be seeing how that is done again step by step. So we have the mail here and we have the username here. So this is the password that we'll be resetting or changing, where we'll be assuming that we have forgotten the password and now try to reset it and try to log in. So now with that, we also need to be able to go and fix the login. We need to go and fix the login so that it can now be able to read the information from this database. So I will just go to within the sign up page here. I can just say that I already have an account, so I just want us to go to the login page, and as it is right now, it is not getting the information in the database that we have, so I just want to go and change that right away. So I'll just head on to the Visual Studio here, and I'll just go direct to the login in. This is the page that contains the login script that helps us to log in into this system. So now in the login underscore inc.php, and here we just want to tell it to fetch the information from the users, which is the new table that we have created. Yeah, we would have created this similar to the previous one, but I will also just wanted to show you how you can be able to do this, just in case you want to give your database a different name, your tables different names. How can you also be able to modify the source code as well? So this is the login underscore inc.php, and as it is, yeah, it is actually very okay. It is reading the information from the users, which is what we want. That's very good. So we don't need to change anything because the name is okay. And remember, it is able to get the database because of this con.php, which is telling it that, oh, you need to read the information from the forgot underscore pass underscore tutorial database. So if that is okay, then we can now come and try to log in. Remember the username is this one here, and the password is 123. So we can try to log in and see what happens. And it tells me that we have wrong password. Okay, but we give it 1 2 3. It could be long. Let me see. Oh, sorry, so it is because of this. Remember, our row is a password. If I can just take you there so we can confirm. This one we called it password, but if we go to our script here, it is looking for the low pass. So remember, this is just the line of code that is verifying the password that you have inserted against the one that we have in the database. And so here it is going to look for the password that you have inserted on the low pass. So when it gets there, it is unable to get this low. So we need to make sure that it deletes password just like that. And so with just that, we can now be able to easily log in. So I'm just going to get rid of this, and now we can try that once again. So the password is 123, so we log in. Yeah, and you can see we have the success logged in. So we are now in the dashboard already. So that means that both our sign up and sign in pages are working, and so now we can be able to easily reset the password. So we'll simply just assume that we've forgotten this password and we now want to reset it. Okay, so let me just get out of this. So we now go to the login.php. So here, and as you would notice down here, we have the forgot password. Right now it is taking us nowhere, so we need to go and fix that link. So I'm heading on to the Visual Studio, and let me get rid of all of this so we can focus on only one page. And that page that we want to focus on is the index.php. So this is the login page. So here we need to come and fix this right here. Yeah, so here I have already created the forgot password. So if I may just take you there, so within the pages folder, I have the forgot password page. So this page has nothing else other than the script that will help us to basically provide the email address that we provided during registration. Remember, for you to be able to reset the password, you need to provide your valid email address that you gave during registration. So the forgot password page is the page that will just be able to fetch that email address and verify it with what we already have in the database. And if they match, then an email address will be or a link will be sent into your email address. From here you can be able to reset the password. So this is just the HTML page that will just contain a form that will help you to reset the password. So in my index.php, so this page here, I need to come and go to that page. So I'll just say pages. I'll just be showing you that in a second. So pages, and that is the folder. So the nini itself is called forgot password.php. So it is this page here. And so now if we go there, if I just come here and refresh that, so if I now point at this, you can see down there on the link we have the forgot password.php, and if I click on it, I'm taken to that specific page. So this is a page that I had already created, and you can be able to easily get it from the source code that I have provided in the link of these, in the description of this video. So basically here we just have the page that will just help you to provide your email address, that will help you to get to your email address, or provide your email address rather. So now we now need to go to the forgot password, that specific page that we have seen, and here now we need to write the script that will help us to verify that email address with what we have in the database. Within the forgot password.php, we are going to include a very important page that will contain a script that is very important, and this script will just help us to verify the email address that will be provided in this forgot password page. So it will one check to see if the email is valid. It will two check to see if the email provided matches what we have in the database, and it will also check if there is a duplicate of that specific email address in our database. So we have not written that script yet, but we'll be writing it in a moment. So to get started, I'm just going to include the PHP opening and closing tags. This page we're just going to call it forgot.php. So I'll just come here and say include, and I will include it, and it will be within the pages, and I'll just come and call it forgot. Sorry, I'm writing my thing, forgot.php, or rather let me just have it within the validates, because it will just be like validating. So I can just say validate. So it is this folder here. You can see the page is right here, but right now it is empty. So we're just including that for now, and within this we'll be creating a session that will help us now to get these messages. And for that, it now means that on top of our page here, we need also to come and start a session. So I'm just going to come and say PHP closing and opening tags, and I'll just come and say session underscore start. Yeah, so just like that. And so now we can now be able to come and have that session that we have not yet created here. So I'm just going to come and say if, and I'll say if is set. So we just say if the session is set, we'll be having this session created. We have not yet created it. So if it's set, so the session, and the session name will be new. So if that session is equal true, so I'll just get out of this one bracket here. and I say if it is equal true. So what should happen if all that is true? So within the code here, let me just collapse this like that. So if that is equal true, then we should come and echo something. And here, because we'll be echoing, we want to style things a little bit, we will be having this within a div. So I'm just going to come and say a div, and I'll also cross it here. So we're going to have the information inside here, but we're just going to style it a little bit, and for that we're going to include a class. And so here what we are going to do is to have the alert success, sorry, yeah. I think it's good that we maybe have these in single quotes. So yeah, like that, so that now this one can be double quotes. And we are now going to have a button inside this div. So I'll say a button, and sorry, this button will have a type of button. And we're also going to give it a class of close. Data dismiss. And variable so we're just styling our button in this case. There's nothing complicated. We now want to have the closing button, so we can have this in a span. Yeah, before I forget, we should close the button here. Yeah, so that now the span can be inside here. And for the span, it will have an area of hidden. And here we can just come and close that, so we can just have an X here, and we can close the span. Yeah, so we're just styling that button so that now when that message appears, a person can be able to click on the X to close that alert message. Okay, so we can also, or we also want to have the message. So we're just going to come and say span. So span. So we can close that here, and here we just want to come and have the message. So the message will be a password, a reset link was sent into your email. Yeah, and we can style that a little bit, so we can include a class. So the class should be text success. So let's just give it the color green, and here we should also add this with a semicolon. And then after that we need to unset the session. So if a person refreshes the page, then we can get rid of that specific session or alert message. So just come and say unset, and here we are unsetting the session. So just come and say session, and the name of the session is new. And we add that with a semicolon as well. So that is what we need to include there, which is very important. Yeah, it will just help us to get that message. Otherwise we'll be getting other messages if, say for example, the email did not match, or maybe you didn't write the email properly, like it was missing the @symbol or something. So that's it. So we'll be checking that if it is working later, because we need to have this session created in the forgot password. So we cannot test it for now because the session has to be set, and it will be set on the forgot .php page. So we now need to create this forgot.php so that we can be able to see how that is working. Okay, so I don't want to make this video to be too long, so I just want to sprint it into several sessions so that it's easier to understand. And as I've noticed, this video is quite long, so I've decided to create the forgot.php page in the next video. So hope you do understand that, and if you're interested in viewing the whole project, then I'll invite you to watch the next video. Find the link in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, and as usual, stay safe.